This is episode number 139 of the Homeowners Show. Whether you're DIY or looking to hire, we're here to help you find the best information and options for you and your home. My name is Kevin Hackett, and here with me is Greg Williams.
Hello, and welcome to the Homeowners Show. We're glad that you could tune in, dial in, drag the clicky, likey thing on the Facebooks, and no Instagram Live, though.
Not today.
Ever.
I mean, probably not
They're
ever.
just not going to make it available, Kev.
Why would they not make it available
They
to us?
They want everyone to stay on the phone.
Oh,
Ooh,
Craig.
I have it right. Look, I'm going to take it out.
Oh, what?
Ha-ha! Look at that.
We've got.
I can amend my ways.
We've got all kinds of new technology at the Homeowners Show tonight. Or today.
Today.
If it's today, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
What you been up to, man?
Oh, dude, this has been a crazy week for me.
I kind of feel like since Eric and I picked on you last week, you brought your dad.
I did. Yeah, my dad's here tonight.
So you think he's going to stick up for you?
No, probably not.
Okay.
No, he knows me too good.
I like him too then.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a crazy week. So last week, Eric was on the show, and it was a big surprise that he showed up to my house as my best friend Mike, and showed up to my house because my 40th birthday was on Monday. And
They're all paying their final respects.
That's right.
4-0.
Yeah.
That's right. And so Eric was leaving on Saturday, and my brother showed up from Amarillo randomly. I did not. Well, it's not random to most people. It was random to me. I didn't know he was coming. So anyway, lots of things were happening this weekend that I didn't know was happening. So it's been good. But now I'm playing catch up a little bit. So, but it's been good. What's up with you, man?
Dude, nothing.
Really?
Absolutely nothing.
I don't believe that.
Dude, like it's been work and work and work and work.
Yeah.
I've been out. I've been assassinating things. So
like animals or bugs?
Bugs.
Oh, okay.
So it is swarmer season, so that's fun.
Oh, that sounds awful.
No, it's awful for the people that have them.
Yeah.
So let me tell you this. Like this is the thing that irritates me is I show up to a woman's house the other day. She had called me because she has termite swarmers.
Okay.
So and for anybody that's living in the South right now, yeah, if you have a yard, there are subterranean termites.
Sure.
On average, in a neighborhood, you have 20 colonies of termites living in your yard.
That's a bunch.
At any given time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And just because they swarm does not mean that your house is about to cave in.
Oh.
That also does not mean that there aren't predatory companies out there that tell you that it is.
Yeah.
You know, and so this woman, she had sent me a picture of swarmers, and I was like, yeah, there's termite swarmers. If you want me to come take a peek, we'll take a peek at it. So I go and take a peek. I look at the house. The house looks great. And she's like, well, this other guy told me that I had termites. I said, did he come out? She goes, no, I just sent him the picture. And she showed me the message. She sent him the picture. His message back was, congratulations, you have termites.
No.
And like,
Wow.
That's a several $1,000 diagnosis that he just made over a telephone, you know, that without putting eyeballs on it.
Wow.
And it's sort of like these guys that chase hailstorms.
Yeah.
It's just irritating because it just gives everybody else a bad name.
Sure.
So, rant over.
That's in every industry.
Yeah.
So it's not just, hey, you have termites, you better watch out, right?
Well, it's not even that. It's like, where did they come from?
Yeah.
I mean, they could have come from your neighbor's yard. They could have come from the woods. Who knows? They just landed here.
Yeah. I don't know.
So the other day we walked outside and looking over at the trash and actually we came home. We walked inside and there were bugs all over the counter. Now they were dying, but there were bugs all over the counter. I'm like,
Right?
what's going on? You know, my wife's looking at me going, well, they look like termites. So we went outside. We're by the trash cans. We see all the wings.
They shed their wings.
They're everywhere. And we had termite eggs come out.
How dare you?
Oh, they had. I know. I'm sorry. It was already in place. So these guys come out and they said, "Oh, these are just carpenter ants." I'm like, "Well, what about all these wings?" He's like, "Oh, well, I'm going to have to bring in another guy." So the 2-hour window that we were there just the other day, it just turned out to be nothing for him to tell me we got to bring out another guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding? So that irritates me.
Yeah.
By the way.
It's always like that. It's so frustrating.
Just call Craig.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah,
Seriously.
Make sure you give me that card.
I got you, brother.
So.
I got you. Kevin, tell everybody who's talking on the microphone.
Yeah. So this is my buddy Mike Stolte, and is it Stolte or Stolte?
It's Stolte.
Okay, Stolte. I always screw that up. Anyway, this is my buddy Mike. Mike is a real estate photographer, and I'm gonna let you introduce yourself a little bit. Tell us how you became a real estate photographer and all of those sorts of things.
Wow. So my name's Michael Stolte. My website is michaeljstolte.com. It's STOLTE.com. And I've been in the real estate industry for 18 years. I started out as a real estate agent. So went to school, did all that, got my license, became a licensed real estate agent, made great money. And then I just kind of fell in love with the marketing and photography aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
So my first camera, I bought a digital camera because someone wanted me to take pictures of their house. $1.2 million home. It was a Fujifilm point and shoot, 3 megapixel
Oh, wow.
camera.
Nice.
Now, the office camera at the real estate company I was with, it took a floppy disk instead of an SD card.
Nice.
It was huge. It was like 1 megapixel, and then you just had to pop out the floppy disk and put it in your computer.
Was it like an actual floppy disk, or was it like one of those camera floppy disks?
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
It was a 3.5 inch.
Yeah, 3.5 inch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and you just pop it out, pop it right into your computer, and then upload the 5 pictures that it took, right? So, so that was my first camera, and then of course I've upgraded, and I have a lot of cameras now, which I pass on to my children. So my oldest daughter has a camera, my youngest daughter has a camera, my wife has one of my cameras, and I had my first business for years. I sold it in 2018. And then I started up another real estate photography company. Another gentleman had asked me to help. So I was with him for 2.5 years, and I left his company in 2020, September the 15th, 2020. And
middle of the pandemic.
Yeah, I guess so. Middle of the pandemic. And went back out on my own, and it's awesome,
Wow.
Yeah.
I went from me to my camera and a tripod and a flash to 3 other photographers. I'm looking to bring on my 4th photographer in Bryan College Station.
Wow.
We developed a relationship with Houston Real Producers Magazine, so we shoot for them. So I have Michelle Butler, Kimberly Robbins. Do not call her Kim. She does not like
She doesn't
that.
care for that?
No, she doesn't, because here's the thing. I call her Kim, and she's like, Kimberly?
Oh.
And I'm like, yeah, that's what it said, Kimberly. I'm like, that's awesome.
There you go.
So, and then we have Trammell King. We call him TK. And
Sure.
TK is a farrier. So if you don't know what a farrier is, he's a guy
Fixes the horse's feet.
He fixes a horse's feet.
Okay.
And he wants to get into real estate photography. So that's my crew. And, we have a special relationship. I pay them really well, so they stay with me.
Nice.
But like I said, I've been doing it for 18 years. Love what I do. Is very busy. 6, sometimes 7 days a week.
Wow.
Shooting houses. And I shoot houses 1,500 square feet, 1,000 square. I shot an apartment the other day. It's 470 square feet. Now, how do you get 32 pictures out of 470
That's tough, isn't it?
square feet?
Wow.
You know?
I mean, you still have your list, right? You still
Turn
have your
around
list.
a lot.
You still got your list, right? You got the living room, the bathroom, this shot, that shot.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
It is all the same. It's just you got to get real creative.
I guess. Your angles.
Yeah.
Go with the angles.
Oh, absolutely. Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. Kimberly says she's, by the way, we are live on my Facebook page. And if you need to go over to the Homeowners show and like their page too, because we're live there. But she's like, awesome team.
Nice.
So
Loves the team.
So she's, tell you a quick story about Kimberly. She she's in my life group at church, and I knew that she was a photographer, and we kind of called each other and started talking about real estate photography. I said, man, you should get into this, and she's rocking and rolling. She's great. Michelle Butler does all of our like portrait stuff. So like for our magazine, she's our primary shooter there, and then she also does real estate. TK does our video and drone services, so he's awesome at that. But we were at an event, and Kimberly brought her husband, Robbie, and he's great at sales.
Yeah.
Really good at sales. And he is talking it up. And he met this gentleman. Next thing you know, Kimberly's like, yeah, I'm going to be on a radio station here in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what do you mean? You? Did you invite me?
Right, like I'm the business owner.
And she goes, no. I'm like,
this is for me.
wow.
Yeah.
Silly they got.
You know why?
She did awesome. She did great.
They don't call her Kim.
That's right. They don't call her Kim.
That's right.
Kim. Appreciate it, Kim.
Yeah.
Burley.
Hey, I will tell you. I will have to tell you that. My wife's name is Kimberly, and when I met her, she introduced me as Kim, and introduced herself to me as Kim, and and I remember at some point throughout the night, I said, "So is your name Kim or is it Kimberly?" And she said, "Well, it's Kimberly. I go by Kim." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, do you mind if you're called Kimberly? Do you mind?" She's like, "No, my family all calls me Kimberly. I just typically prefer Kim." I was like, "Okay, well, do you mind if I call you Kimberly? Because I'm kind of like calling people by their full name if that's fine with you." And she was like, "Yeah, it's fine, whatever." So later on in life, which didn't take very long, when I met her mom, that was literally the only thing her mom liked about me, was that I called her by her actual name.
Wow.
And she said this. She said, if I wanted her to be named Kim, I would have
named
her Kim.
Yeah.
But her name is not Kim. Her name is Kimberly.
Yeah.
And so I fit right in.
Yeah,
So
I hear
there
you.
you go.
I
Yeah,
hear
it's a
you.
big
That's
deal.
awesome.
If your name is Kim, maybe it's Kimberly.
it's probably.
That's the end of the story.
Unless you're
Yeah.
a boy.
Yeah.
Which that could happen.
Yeah.
I actually know a guy named Kim, and it's not Kimberly.
There you go.
I have a customer named Erin.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And
yeah.
her husband's name, and it's Erin.
Uh-huh.
And her husband's name is Aaron.
Oh,
as
nice.
well. So
Yeah.
it's Aaron and Aaron.
Aaron and Aaron. Do they spell it different?
Yeah, his is Aaron.
Okay.
And hers is. So here I am voice texting.
Yeah.
And I'm always really quick to send.
Mm.
Then I look down going, oh,
Wrong
man,
one.
I'm so sorry.
Wrong
She
one.
goes, that's okay. Everybody does it.
It happens all the time. Well, tell me this. So, you've been doing real estate photography for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and I would imagine that over the last year,
Mhm.
with COVID
Mhm.
hitting, that things have been a little bit different for you.
So when COVID really hit and everybody just stayed at home, the great thing about it was I could get to the other side of downtown Houston within, 20 minutes from where I live, which is awesome. I was
Yeah.
like, there's all the cars.
Yeah.
You know? But with me, we went out, we got masks, we got gloves, we sanitized our equipment, every single house.
Mm-hmm.
Now, knock on wood, and I guess I shouldn't say this, I have not gotten COVID-19.
Right.
So, which is great.
Yeah.
But we still use that practice. If people, like right now, there's no mask mandate
Right.
now, so we don't wear a mask in people's homes. There are still companies out there that require homeowners to leave.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. If they want us to wear a mask, they're readily available. If
Right.
they want us to wear booties and gloves, we usually go in and we wear booties. We don't wear gloves anymore. But if they want us to be completely protective, we're walking into their home.
Mm-hmm.
We don't walk in and go, I'm the pro, I'm going to, no. We go in there and we do that. So it's really kind of changed, in a sense, how I do my job.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of homeowners, they stay away. They'll go upstairs, which is actually kind of good for me because, when I first started this thing, I would right when I'd take a picture, little lady would look around the corner. But after the 5th one, I said, "Hey, is there a place where you can just go and hang out and just stay?
Can you be somewhere else?
Be just invisible."
Yeah, that's right.
So I mostly when I tell people, because I do have people that are like right behind me, watching me the whole time, and they're critiquing my work, and they do, and I just tell them, look, if you can see the back of my head, you're in the right place.
Yeah.
If you see my face, you need to move because I'm pointing the camera towards you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but most of the homeowners and people that I come in contact with, real estate agents and whatnot, they're really good. You know?
And most of the time, I would assume like differently, because one of the things we heard whenever we talk to realtors right now is, and people really had been, maybe a little less right now, but had been real leery of people coming in their home. So you got to have pre qualification letter, and you got to make sure this, and you got to make sure that, and they got to all of this kind of stuff, right? But I would imagine for you, people are really happy to see you because they've cleaned their house, they've got everything ready. They know this is kind of the last thing before they get that listing online, I would assume.
The thing is, right now in Houston with the market is literally lava hot.
Mm-hmm.
And I say lava hot because you could go out and take pictures with your cell phone and put it on hard. Now, I'm not recommending that, but you could go and take pictures with your cell phone and put it on hard, and it would still sell in a week.
Yeah.
Or not even that, in a day.
Right. So real quickly, because we do have a lot of listeners that aren't in the Houston area. What is HAR?
So HAR is the Houston Association of Realtors. That is our local real estate board. You can go to har.com, HAR.com. That's where you're going to – that's our local MLS feed. So that's where all the listings go. They start at our local MLS feed, and then they go to like websites like Zillow and Realtor.com and other Home.com, other places like that.
Yeah, so it is if you're looking for a home in the greater Houston area, that is the place to go look.
Absolutely.
So okay, got it. All right, cool. So you're right. The market is absolutely crazy. We were actually talking about this just earlier today, actually, with our buddy Eric G, and just talking about how man, houses are just flying off the market.
They are,
and you can't afford to build one.
Right.
So
because materials are just through the roof.
Yeah, materials are so expensive right now. They're houses are costing anywhere between $25,000 and $50,000 more to build just because of the materials. So
sure.
So people are wanting to buy, already built homes,
right?
And they're just flying off the market.
They really are. I mean, we photographed the Rathborn's property. I don't know if you know them, but
I don't.
They attended BAML, and now they go to Conroe.
Okay.
And I think they sold it within 24 hours.
That's amazing.
And it was like as soon as they put the pictures online, they had 50 showings, 25 plus offers. That's the thing that just really is phenomenal.
What were the specs on that house? Was it like 3.2, 4.2.5?
I think it was 4.2, 4.2.5 with a pool, 2-story. Beautiful home.
Yeah.
Beautiful home.
You can't keep those on the market.
Old Oaks in 1960, and it was just that they went in there, redid it, fresh paint, looked great. I mean, looked like a model. And even the ones that are sort of kind of hurting a little bit are still going.
Yeah.
People are buying homes now sight unseen.
Yeah.
I shot a home yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. 1.2. Show up, realtor's there. I'm there. I get out. I'm like, all right, man, nice house. Corner lot, whole thing up in Creekside. She goes, oh, yeah, it's already sold. I went, what? She goes, yeah, I'm just getting pictures just because. I went, nice.
Okay. Got it.
Go in there and photograph the house just because.
Well, I think that was going to be one of my questions tonight. Are you guys even having time to take pictures? I mean,
we are. Most agents understand that the market is like blazing hot. And with the way that the Houston Association of Realtors has their MLS system set up, you can actually go in there and put a home as coming soon.
Right.
And now coming soon doesn't go out to the general public.
Okay.
But it goes out to every real estate agent that is actively looking for a house to put somebody in.
Right.
It is a seller's market. So let me tell you a little bit about what a seller's market is coming from just a person in the public. That means there's not a lot of listings out there, right? There's 50 listings to 1,000 buyers.
Yeah.
If you want to compare that. So you have this 1,000 buyers picking between 50 listings, and you're doing multiple offers. If the house is worth, and I'm saying worth, fair market value, $350,000, they're going $25,000 over, $50,000 over. Photographed a house in Kingwood probably 3 weeks ago. Talked to the husband. They're moving to Denver. Now, last month we had a 30-day supply here in Houston. So if we did not list a single house, we have a 30-day supply. That's it.
Goodness gracious.
Denver, Colorado, 3-day supply.
Oh.
3 day. He put in an offer $150,000 over ask. Didn't get it.
That's crazy.
Left, was driving in a neighborhood, saw a U-Haul truck, got out, knocked on the door, said, "Are you selling your house?" They're like, "Yes." He goes, "We'll buy it."
Oh my goodness.
No option. You name your price. We'll buy it.
Yeah.
We're not going to ask for any repairs, anything. I mean, that's how nuts the market is.
That's insane.
That is nuts.
But here's the crazy part, and I think you're alluding to this, is like Texas right now. I think we were talking about this on Clubhouse today. Is I think Texas just picked up 2 House seats.
Yes.
Because of how many people have now moved to Texas.
Yes.
And they're talking about that probably happening like in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Florida, where they're potentially picking up congressional seats because of the number of people that have moved in these states.
Sure.
But you also have states like California, Oregon, Washington, where people are leaving in mass. But the real estate prices and the supply is still diminished because they're not building any.
Right.
And for whatever reason, the demand is still high. And I guess it's because they're not building as many. I don't know what it is, or it's just people trying to move up into a better house.
Probably.
Or maybe people anticipating that the market is dropping because people are leaving and thinking that they can do that.
Or
I don't know.
Have people renting.
Yeah.
That are wanting to move into homeownership.
Which, what a horrible time to do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you think about it. This year, statistically speaking, we were in a.
I'm not trying to rain on any real estate person's parade right now,
but we were in an election year. We were in a pandemic. The oil industry was just gone at that point.
Right.
And Houston was still blowing up.
Yeah.
With people buying houses.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and with cash.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's unbelievable how many people are moving here because, I mean, look, if you're from California or from the West Coast somewhere, specifically California though,
right.
They can sell a 3.2 there for $900,000.
Sure.
Turn around and buy a 4.3 here for 300, 350, maybe even 400. They'll go 5 or 6 and still bank $300,000, right?
It's at a very young 2021. Come here, buy a huge house over in Spring. Huge house, 5 bedrooms, game room, media room, the whole thing. And I was like, man, that's a big house for her. It's very attractive because of the way that our state is set up. We don't have one thing that they didn't quite get is the school taxes and all of that other stuff. And then it was like, oh wow, what just happened?
Right? Yeah, they're definitely not used to the property taxes because there's no state income tax for sure.
Yeah,
that's a big blow sometimes.
We're gonna get our money somehow.
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely. Well, so I'm hearing what you're saying. Walk us through for a minute, because I think a lot of people see the side of you once the pictures are done, all of that kind of stuff. But kind of walk us through what the process is from the realtor calls you, says I've got a house. What does that process look for you? Because there's also a certain number of pictures you need to take and a certain list. I'm alluded to a list, and I'm sure it's ingrained in your head at this point.
But, absolutely.
But there's a certain number of pictures you need and a certain picture itself, right? So walk us through that for a minute.
Well, the first thing we have to understand is how many images can our MLS system hold per listing.
Okay.
It's 50.
50. Okay.
Now,
that's the top of
that is it. That's the
cut
max,
you off.
That's the max number is 50. Now, it used to be back in the early 2000s, you only had to upload one photo. That was it. And then HAR came out, Houston Association of Realtors, HAR, came out and said, no, you need a minimum of 6.
Okay.
So then it was 6 of the same photo.
Because they literally would just upload. Okay, yeah.
And they're like, no, 6 different photos, different angles, things like that. So then it started getting better, and then it went to 32 images. Now still a minimum of 6, but you could upload to 32, and that was the old tempo system. So it went from when I say tempo, that's just the name of the back office that realtors would use. Now it's called Matrix, and they go in there and you can upload 50 images. And at the end of the day, Har.com, to me, and it's my opinion, that they're competing with the national brands, Realtor.com, Zillow.com, things like that. If you go and actually search out real estate agents or search out properties on Har.com, you're not just going to get local. You're going to get worldwide.
Yeah.
You're going to get out of the country listings. You're going to get San Antonio listings or Dallas listings or Fort Worth or whatever, maybe even in other states. So even though it's still Texas real estate, it just kind of brings that whole brand together. And when I was in real estate, we were kind of transitioning from kind of your local real estate agent to your more worldwide real estate agent, even though you're in Houston.
Right.
We can sell, a real estate agent that's licensed in the state of Texas can sell real estate anywhere in the state of Texas, not just Houston.
Right.
It's not a geographical location.
Sure.
So, but the reach, we have people in the oil and gas industry, and being Houston's the hub for that,
right?
And it's an international hub. We have people from overseas coming back wanting the Woodlands or Katy or Sugarland or Friendswood. And so they're looking on Har.com. They look at the other sites as well. But getting back to your question, my thing, when we go into a house, I have a checklist on my website that agents can be able to download and give to their seller.
Okay.
And, taking down personal items, for photo day, lights on, fans off, blinds open, cars out of the driveway, lawn equipment stowed, personal items removed, paper towels, things like that. Put your potty seat down, guys. I don't like to touch them. I don't like to touch potty seats, but I'll touch the potty seat and then I'll Germex and wash my hands. And,
if you have to.
If I have to,
Yeah.
But, put your potty seats down. Train you as a real estate agent. They are
Dogs put up.
Yeah. Absolutely. Dogs put up.
Yeah.
I had a guy in Magnolia. Oh yeah, my dog's friendly. No, he wasn't friendly.
No.
And then when I went in the backyard, there was no way to get out.
It's nice to you.
I'm like, what is going on? But pets, put them away.
Yeah.
I'm not. I love pets. I have 2 dogs and 2 bunnies and 3 children. And I'm sorry, 5 children. I forgot my oldest 2. But 5 kids. Oh my goodness. But that's their property, and I'm a stranger in their house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I put my dogs up when strangers come to my house. Please put your animals, put them in a crate, get them in the garage temporarily. It's not too hot yet.
Yeah.
Put them in the backyard.
Yeah.
So, So yeah, that, like I said, fans off, lights on. Please have your home what's called show ready. You're ready for the general public to walk through your house. So that should be picture day. Beds made. I don't take pictures of closets, except for like a
nice walk-in or something.
The primary closet is what they call.
Yeah.
Instead of
the master.
The master closet.
That's right.
The M word. But
can't say that, Kevin.
Can't say that.
Oh, I said it. I'll say it again too.
So, but yeah, the master just, we don't want to see your towels hanging unless they're brand new, folded correctly. And agents should, in my opinion, coach their client, come to check to make sure the house is ready to go.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say 95%. I'm going to give it 95% of agents do that. They're really good. There's 35,000 real estate agents in Houston, and 10% actually do it as a business,
right?
And they go the extra mile. I've seen that. I tell my clients all the time. I'm like, hey, thank you for having the house ready.
Yeah.
Now, if it's 90% ready and we have to move a few things, sure. If you got a young family and you got toys everywhere, hey, we can digitally declutter, we can digitally stage, we can do whatever you want to do. But majority of the time, be ready for picture day.
Yeah.
So
do you know who Vicky Fleischer is?
I don't.
She's a real estate agent that used to go to your church. But she may still go there. I don't know. Anyway, she's been my real estate agent for every single house I've bought, sold.
Yes.
And
Vicky, call me. My number's 832-247-0634. Love to give you 20% off.
Yeah.
MichaelJStolte.com. It's S-T-O-L-T-E.
She sells really nice houses, so she took me on as charity. But I still remember the first house I ever sold, which she was the listing agent for. I've never been scolded that bad as an adult when she showed up for picture day. It was
Craig, what's going on?
Yeah, didn't you know today was picture day? Yeah, I knew today was. What is wrong with your house? This is how we live.
But not on picture day.
Not on picture day, you don't.
Do you know me at all?
She would. So one, she scolded me. Two, she was absolutely wonderful. She was hustling around the house, helping me clean it, and like above and beyond what she needed to be doing, because she was making sure we got a good price on the house, and we did. But man, picture day was stressful.
Yeah.
I was there just by myself. Wife was nowhere to be seen.
Of course not.
So and here's one of the things that we do is when we go into your house, and yes, you've worked real hard.
Hopefully.
Real hard to get it ready, hopefully, right. But, also understand if I see something that I don't want in the photo because I think it's going to look better without it, I'm going to say, hey, excuse me, can you move that?
Yeah.
Oh, but I staged it. Nah, it's not going to look good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they just got to hang their head down.
Yeah, right.
All right, I'll move it. Know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Has there ever been anything that was just like really awkward to address, like in the room? Like, hey, like, could you?
So when there's something very awkward to the room, I don't.
You just don't address it.
No. I pull the agent aside and take them to the front, and I'm like, hey, there's
paraphernalia.
There's this, yes, there's that. I photographed a house. I'm trying to remember where. Maybe South Houston. Walked in, and it's a picture of the homeowner and his wife. And it was professionally done. It's very, very nice, just without clothing.
Oh.
But I mean, you couldn't see anything.
Okay.
But I'm still thinking, oh, come on. You know what I mean?
I'm still seeing too much.
That's gonna be in a photo. Blur out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Photoshop that.
But because I'm in and out of a lot of houses too, and sometimes I'll walk into a room and there's a pole. And I'm like, do I address the pole? Do I acknowledge that it's here? Because someone's walking me through the house, showing me the house, and they're walking in. There's no shame. And I'm like, what do I do?
Me?
What do I do?
Here's what I would do. I'd get on the pole taking pictures. And I would put that on Facebook. Just part of my marketing, you know? So,
Sure. And then you caption it, "We work for you."
Or tips accepted.
there you go.
Fine.
Right. Okay. That's really good. So you've got all of these different shots, and do you do the maximum of 50, or do you cap it at a certain amount?
I have 3 photo packages. A $99 package gets you up to 15 images. We usually do those for like lease properties. So we'll do that really quick. One front image, one point perspective of the front of the house, and then just one image of each, the best angle. So we're not just going to go put our tripod down, take a picture, and run. Then we have up to 32 images. So we do kind of like a midpoint.
Okay.
And then we do 50.
Okay.
But it just depends on the customer, what they're wanting. I mean, I have people, I want 50 photos, and I want twilight photography, and I want aerial photography, and I want floor plan, I want this, and I want that, which is great, and it's overkill sometimes, but then again, they understand they're not going to use all the images on the MLS. They're also going to take other images and use them for other marketing, other things, So
talking about like print ads and things like
ads, other social media,
Facebook
Instagram,
ads, right?
Just to give something different, because you could do an ad on Instagram, but then you could change it up on Facebook, and you could change it up on print. So there's so much different ways to advertise. And then we also create virtual tours to where you can put unlimited images on a virtual tour. And that will help showcase the house much, much better, right?
So is a virtual tour, is that like a series of photos as you sort of virtually move through the house, or is it more like a video? So
a virtual tour is, the definition of a virtual tour is a tour that you can do, see virtually. That could be a picture slideshow. That could be a 360-degree panoramic tour. That could be a Matterport tour.
Is the Matterport one where like it has like the little circles on the ground that you click on?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's different variations of that. There's Cloud Pano, which does the same thing with arrows and whatnot and on the floor, and it walks you through it. The Matterport's the big box, that just kind of scans the room, which is really cool. And then you have cinematic video. We do a lot of cinematic video. So we like to tell a story with our video. So it's very slow motion, cool music, using corners to give motion to empty rooms, lots of pushes, lots of side views, things like that. So, and we've sold more video than we have virtual tours and panorama. I mean, I picked up my Canon the other day, and I'm like, ooh, there's dust. That's my Pano camera.
Yeah. Okay.
We hardly do those.
So what are the ones where I've seen on listings where you're kind of looking down at the house? You're almost looking as if you're on the floor plan.
So that's a Matterport tour.
Is that a Matterport tour? Okay.
Yeah, it's called a dollhouse.
Okay.
For the Matterport, it is trademark to the
Matterport
system. So that's how you're getting a Matterport tour, is that dollhouse.
Okay, that's cool looking.
It is neat.
Yeah.
It is real neat.
Now, is that included in like your 50 picture thing, the Matterport, or is the Matterport like an add-on?
Oh, huge add-on.
Okay.
Huge add-on. We charge by square footage, so we start around $200 for 2,000 square foot house.
Okay.
And then we go up, $100, $150 per 1,000 square feet.
Okay.
And it just depends on, because there's other Matterport, providers that charge, they charge 8 cents, they charge, whatever per square footage.
Right.
So there might be a minimum, it's $150 minimum, and then 8 cents after that.
Okay.
Per square footage.
Yeah, and then on top of that, a lot of realtors are really going after these drone shots as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. Aerial drone shots are, a must if you want to tell a story. with that. You know, if you've got land,
Because you do like a bring in kind of a shot on the. Because you can do like the video.
Yeah, you can do video and you can do photography as well. So, but drone shots are really for, you know, if you got land or if you got something you want to showcase, right?
Yeah. So my realtor was telling us the other day, we'd been looking at some different things, and she told us the other day, she said, if I was going to list your house, I would want a drone shot because you are on the golf course.
Yes.
So she would really want to be able to showcase, look, this is what this looks like from the air.
Because you can not just have your home centered on the screen, but then you can fly on the back of the golf course and your home can be off over to the left, and you can see the fairway and see how all that is tied into where your home is, which is pretty neat.
Yeah.
And there's so many different angles you can do that, and you can't really get that cool shot from the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and like and I assume this is true in your business, but like in order to sell those photographs and get that and sell the video, the person taking them has to have that pilot's license for the drone.
Yes, that's right. So you need a what is it? Part 107, I think, for the drone license. So you got to have a tail number. You got to have all that.
Yeah, I mean they have to be able to communicate with a tower. They have to be able to. I mean, they got to know how to do all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Because they can they can cause some disturbances.
You know, and the thing is, leading up to this, and the reason why the government said everybody needs. Now, this has always been the case. You know, you need some type of certificate or license to fly a drone. But it got really bad when people started, you know, the DJI products started coming out.
Right.
And everybody got a drone. And then everybody started flying it over ballparks and over parks, and people got hurt, and it was all in the news. It's the latest craze. Now, you never hear about it anymore.
Right.
I mean, you never hear about it anymore. You know, are people still out there being crazy with drones?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Do you know why? Because I do. Why you don't hear about it?
Why?
He's from Scotland. I forget his name. He initially developed the product for the PGA because that was where they're having the biggest problem was people flying drones over the golf course to get a shot of Tiger or whoever.
Right.
You know, I think the product is it's called Drone Killer.
Oh, wow.
And he basically puts a virtual fence. He can put a virtual fence over anywhere that if a drone flies into it, it immediately shuts the drone down.
Oh, wow.
And and they, you know, like at that point it's on private property, drone's gone. So people have really learned their lessons because they started flying these $10,000 drones into these, you know, trying to get, you know, 4K video.
Right.
And it was just going in the pond.
Oh, wow.
Because so now they have them over ballparks. He made a fortune.
Oh, wow.
Which good for him. I mean, he developed a great product.
Absolutely.
But I mean, he can kill a drone in any given space.
And I mean, you know, I would love it to where if they put up a net, you couldn't go past that net.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Instead of killing a drone, because that's a drone that's 200 feet in the air.
Right? Yeah.
You know?
It could potentially hurt somebody. Yeah.
It could potentially kill somebody.
Yeah.
You know, so we got to be, you know, professional when we do it. We got to be respectful. You know, we still have people come out, oh, you can't fly that drone over my house. Well, technically I can.
Yeah.
You know, you don't own the airspace. And that's just being educated.
Yeah.
That's all. You know.
Sure.
So.
Yeah.
Are you guys flying DJI?
DJI Maverick Pro 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, the Maverick Pro. So sorry.
I got the Mavic Air.
Okay, cool.
So it was a fantastic drone.
Oh, it's awesome.
I mean, those things are crazy intelligent too.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's amazing what they're able to do with those drones, especially roofers and insurance people that are trying to take aerials of people's roofs, because they can zero in on some stuff that, to be honest, like you're getting a better image than your eye can even see from, you know, in some cases, and so plus it's just so much safer.
Sure.
You know,
and lower your insurance. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
You go on roofs? No.
Nope. I do not.
But my drone does.
That's right.
Yep. Well, cool. So I'm sure we haven't even brushed the surface, but what is there anything else we haven't talked about that is kind of integral to what you do?
You know, we do. We start doing floor plans. You know, for homes that just don't have floor plans. You know, which is really cool. So we use a program. We use our cell phone and it actually takes a video and we send it to a company and they create a really cool floor plan. The other thing is we can colorize it, we can customize it, we can do a lot of different things there. Now, of course, you always have to check, it comes with dimensions, comes without dimensions. That's a big seller, especially like over in Bender's Landing. I have a customer over there. Every home gets a floor plan. Once we start offering, she's like, that's a no-brainer. Because that really kind of looking at a 2D floor plan is a great way to visualize, what the house is going to look like.
Yeah, absolutely. Because one of the things that I was always frustrated about before the virtual tours came out is I was like, where am I?
Right.
Like, I'm looking at these pictures, but how? Like, I see this picture of the kitchen. It looks like there's a hallway, but I can't tell. Does that connect the kids' rooms? Does that connect the master? What is that?
One of the
the
cool
primary.
Things,
excuse me.
Yeah. One of the cool things is that you can actually take a floor plan, upload it into a virtual tour, system, and then put camera hotspots on the floor plan.
That's cool.
Or you can do a 360 hotspot to where you just click there and then you can look around 360 as like you were standing right there in that floor plan.
Yeah.
So you can really get. The technology is there.
Right.
At the end of the day, in this market, how much money you're going to spend to really market a house at this point?
I wouldn't.
You're right.
I mean, right now, I would go, okay, you got a 32 picture package? Give me that one.
Yeah.
And
that's all you need.
Yeah, because right now, people are buying sight unseen anyway.
Exactly.
Right?
Pre-pandemic, yes. Twilights, aerials. You're buying whatever you want to buy to be able to market the property effectively.
Right.
And it's not just me, because I'm just the beginning stages of the marketing. Then they have to put it in, some type of real estate magazine or the newspaper or, Houston Chronicle. Is that still around? I don't know.
Who knows?
Digitally.
It's lingering in the shadows somewhere.
Facebook, social media, Instagram. I have a customer that is she teaches me things. Lucia Clark with Better Homes and Gardens, Gary Green. She even teaches me things. She's got a nice little team there too. But she teaches me things like on Instagram. I've taught her things with social media. We had a training class with JLA up in the Woodlands the other day we have the DJI Osmo with your cell phone. And
the gimbal, right?
The gimbal,
yeah.
Yes, sorry. And put your cell phone on there, and with the iPhone 12 Pro or the iPhone 12, you got the wide angle, and that doesn't give you the excuse to not hire a professional.
Sure.
But for social media, this is great.
Oh, yeah.
I've got another one, Essie Benedict. She's awesome. She TikToks every one of her listings. And I was in there and I was like, hey, I called her up. I said, I can't duet this. And if you don't know what duet is, I'm not going to tell you. You just got to figure it out. And she's like,
that's a TikTok feature, I'm guessing. Okay.
That is a TikTok feature.
Got it.
And she's like, well, how do I turn that feature on? And I said, you need to go in your settings, turn it on, let me duet it. So basically it's a video side by side of her video. So she's doing her TikTok video and I'm watching it, and you can see me watching her video.
Okay.
And then I'm on her video and I'm like, look, there's me, and I'm just creating another TikTok.
Yeah, it's just content.
Type thing. Yeah, that's all it is. And that's what you need, content and the right hashtags. You don't want to put something just that's not getting any with like in Instagram, you can hashtag real estate and it can tell you how many, 1.9 million or 17 million or whatever. You want to hashtag those big things for your social media content.
Yeah, definitely. Cool.
So does anyone really take it to, I'm thinking like the Oculus system or like a VR system where you can actually put the goggles on and go through the house like that? So
we tried that. Of course, Matterport's VR ready. Any virtual tour system that is a 360 is VR ready. I just, I don't see a lot of people there yet.
Yeah, it's not. But people are playing with it.
They are playing with it.
Yeah.
The concept is there. like I said, I just don't. It's something that it looked cool.
Mm-hmm.
It just never took off, and I think it looks cool in the movies. It's very futuristic, but it's just not. It's not here yet.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Well, I don't think enough people own those systems
yet. Yeah.
Yet, in order, I mean, unless a realtor wants to, buy one and take it to her clients and say, hey, put this on because trust me, I sanitized it. I mean, you can it's not. I mean, I don't own one.
Yeah,
so.
well, I think it really is going to need like some sort of like breakthrough interactive thing to make people want to have it.
Right.
They haven't had. I think they tried that Star Wars game. Nobody liked that.
Right.
They haven't had that. Yeah, they
Yeah.
just haven't had that thing yet that's made it like, oh, I gotta have it.
Well,
But I imagine once they do,
until it's like a PlayStation Oculus, people aren't probably going to buy that thing.
Well, I really like watching the videos of people wearing it and then
Yes.
falling over
Yes.
because
yes,
that is hilarious.
that's worth the price of admission.
It absolutely is.
Yes.
No doubt.
So I want to circle back around to something you were saying about on the MLS is capped at 50, right?
Right.
Is that true on like Zillow and Trulia?
No.
So okay, that's what I thought.
You can upload more. So an IDX feed is it's a feed that is specifically for MLS boards nationwide. So the way that Realtor.com, the way that Zillow.com, the way that Home.com or whatever, they have to have an IDX feed, kind of like an RSS feed for blogs.
Okay, yeah.
Okay? This is an IDX feed for real estate listings, and they pull from all the local boards like Sabor or Austin Board of Realtors or San Antonio Board of Realtors, Houston Board of Realtors, Dallas Fort Worth. They pull that and it goes to their websites. So all that Realtor.com is and Zillow, they were just marketing websites. Zillow's kind of taken it a step further. I think they are now a broker.
Really?
Yes. There's Zillow 3D tours. There were Zillow videos, which were really cool. They had a really cool app. You do it on your cell phone, get a gimbal. It does a 2-minute video. I think we charged, I don't know, $100 for it, and no music, no nothing. Boom, done. Really quick. A lot of agents loved it because it would put their listing to the front of the search engines. So anything that had a video came up first.
Yeah.
It doesn't do that anymore.
Right.
Zillow took that away, and I went, there's nothing for me to try to sell that.
Yeah.
There's no benefit anymore. So I stopped doing that. And what I'll do now is I'll upload, or the agent can actually upload one of our cinematic videos to Zillow if they want to add a Zillow video to their system.
Wow. So they pretty much, I mean, like once you do it, they've got that content. They can kind of play with it and put it where they want.
Yeah, I think Realtor.com can upload the last time I checked 100 photos, something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, you can upload, a bunch. Now, Har.com, they have a limit, and really, 50 photos on.
It's a lot of photos.
A 3,000 square foot house or a 3,500 square. That's a lot of photos.
Yeah.
There are agents that, can upload 10 photos and it'll sell a house, but it's the right 10 photos.
Right.
Right. But if you've ever went to Har.com and looked at a guy, I'm going to tell you this: real estate agents, please stop taking pictures with your cell phones for lease listings, or get the newest, wide angle phone or a lens adapter from Moment and take your pictures, because I just can't see a wall, a little bit of floor. That doesn't tell me anything. When I teach my guys on photography, it's a 3-wall shoot. I don't do 2 walls. I try not to.
Right.
I get 3rd wall because of dimensions, and it shows better. If the space is tight, we do a portrait shot to show, ceiling to floor or whatever. But it's not just wide angle too. So it's all about us educating our customers to give them, because we're part of their team. we're not just a service for them. We are literally part of their team. Essie Benedict, for instance, when she goes on, listing presentations, she talks about her professional photographer that comes in to do this. It used to be not like that. It used to be agents took their own photos, agents, with their cell phone. I love the ones that you see the agents in the mirrors in the bathroom.
Oh yeah,
or just the arm,
right?
So for us,
they're not good enough at Photoshop to make that happen. I'll just tell you that right now.
I'm not good at Photoshop to make that happen.
Yeah.
But one of the things that, like, for real estate agents, they surround themselves with people to make them look good.
Right.
I do the same thing in my business. We have a couple of different editors. They're overseas, so when I'm sleeping, they're making my photos look beautiful.
Oh, nice.
And that's pretty much the standard now. Most real estate agents, it used to be, do you have a wide angle lens? Now it's, do you hire a professional editor?
Right.
Or do you edit yourself?
Right.
Well, I edit myself. Okay, next. They find somebody else. And, there's a lot of real estate photographers in the Houston area that are out there. Some that I've never heard of, some that are coming in and kicking rear end and taking names, some that come in and leave, and that don't want to do it. I've been here 18 years. I've grown a business. I sold a business. I helped start a business with another guy. I've restarted my business and just branded it my name. And now I have, like I said, I have 3 other photographers looking to hire on my 4th, and all within, what is it, April? So 6, 7 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really good.
So and the one thing that I will tell anybody that's listening that wants to hire me to come photograph their house, I'm not there to just make $1. I'm going to give you my advice and opinion, and it's not going to be buy everything.
Right.
Because I want to be able to keep that customer. And I want to be able to keep that customer happy. I want to be able to be a part of their team. And that's something that I tell, all my photographers that work with me. And that's the other key word there is the word with. They don't work for me. They work with me. We are truly a team. I help them out. They help me out.
Well, and I think there's probably a lot of, especially right now, a lot of young real estate agents that might be thinking, I have the iPhone Pro or whatever, and I can take these photos. I can do this kind of stuff. I read a statistic the other day about people looking for homes, that they make a decision about whether or not they like that home within the first 14 seconds, which means they've probably looked at 2 photos.
Yeah.
And so, like, you better shoot your best shot, literally. Like, you better have 2 photos that are just absolutely killer.
I don't know if this camera can pick that up or not, but
we can see it.
That's a really nice photo on my iPhone.
Right.
Right. Now I took that with my iPhone.
Right.
But if you really look at it, the verticals are straight, the horizontal lines are straight. It's positioned correctly for a study. Same thing here. If you look at the beams are horizontal going across. So that's what we do.
That's what you're looking for. Like that's what you want to see when you pull up that listing.
So when I say 3 walls, 1, 2, and then 3 in the back.
Okay.
So that shows depth, dimension. It gives that space character, and and then maybe a horizontal shot like that.
Yeah.
And that's they got a nice little wine grotto there built in. Detail shots, which are kind of cool. If we wanted to get like really cool detail shots, something like that.
Sure.
It's
like the pop filler over the stove.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But all these images that I took of this home, no electricity, anything like that, I took them all with my cell phone. It can be done, but the thing that separates a amateur and a pro is your presentation.
Yeah.
Your angles.
Right.
and your composition. And if you're just taking, I love going and looking at older pictures that I'm having to go redo, and it's just a picture of the toilet. It's not going to sell a house.
No. It's going to be down the list a little bit.
A little bit. But, it's presentation. It's looking over a couch, looking at the TV, things like that. That's really what it is. And when these guys do look, it's like we all like to see pretty things.
All the time.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's ugly, the only reason why you're looking at it is because it's really ugly. You're like, oh, man, what is that?
But then it's like, hey, you got to come over here and look at this.
Yeah, it's like that Ellen bit where she's like, but taste how bad this really is.
Art, people, food, whatever. If it's a beautiful thing, we do like to look at it as a human race. Right. Same thing with photography. If it looks just dingy, I mean, it's okay. Next, that's why lease listings lose so much money because of not having professional photography.
Sure.
Agents don't make a lot of money on it,
so they don't want to spend the money.
So they don't want the rationale is I don't want to spend the money.
Yeah.
But the true professional is I don't care.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because I can get somebody in there. I can go back and market to them after a year's up. I can get their business, or I can put them in a house instead of renting. I can put them in a house.
Yeah.
It's money well invested if you're the right real estate agent knowing how to invest your marketing.
Yeah. So one of the things that I'm curious about, and that, first of all, thank you for saying it the way you did, is because we like to do our best to educate people, and
sure.
And I think that really helped. One of the things that I'm curious about is, do you think there's a way whenever you're choosing a realtor that you can find out something about them with regard to how they're going to list your house? How, talk to them about, right. But like, is there anything, because I mean, how do you ask, do you have a good photographer? And they say yes. I mean, do you know if there's a good way to kind of come about that?
Examples.
Okay, show me examples, right?
Show me examples. Yes, I have a professional photographer. Great. Show me the example.
Yeah.
What do you have?
Okay.
And I mean, the sad thing is, no offense to real estate agents, they're real estate agents. They wouldn't know what a good photo is from a bad photo, to be quite honest with you, unless it was just an ugly photo.
Sure.
Right.
For us, I have different groups that I'm associated with on Facebook, and it's just real estate photographers. And we're putting our work up there all the time. Please critique me. What can I do better? What can I do? At the end of the day, it's not a Picasso. I'm not shooting, in what's called interior architectural design photos, because that's a totally different ballgame. I'm shooting real estate. Pictures go up, house sells in 24 hours, pictures come down, 30 days later, right?
Yeah.
It's rinse and repeat.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is with them, they're going in with a great listing presentation, and I'm just an integral part of it. But they need to have examples, and they show them examples, what virtual staging looks like, because even though people can go in and I do love real staging in a house, especially as a photographer. This house right here is staged. No one lives there. And it's beautiful.
Sure.
So that was all furniture that was brought in.
Right.
Yeah.
But I can also put virtual furniture in a space, and it looks like it was there when I photographed it.
Cool. And so it's actually
cheaper.
As you say, it's a whole lot less expensive for you to do that than have someone bring in the furniture themselves.
I can do, I think we're charging like $45 or something like that per image, and that's the great thing. Per image.
So you can do it on ones you want and ones that you don't want.
That means if I have multiple rooms that are in that image, all those rooms get staged. To where if you hired a stager to come in, it's per room. So they could, for a few $100s, they could stage the entire house, game room, all the bedrooms, master bedroom, kitchen, everything. We could put refrigerators in there. We could put a stove, stainless steel stove. Maybe it doesn't have one, but you're going to put one in there. And hey, the stove didn't come; it was on back order. What can you put a stove in there? Absolutely, we've done that. Put refrigerators, outdoor kitchens. We can do all that.
Wow, it's amazing.
One of the other cool things is we can actually go in there and virtually renovate the space.
Or like add sheetrock and color and
everything, and make it look like it was complete, like a kitchen. It's an old kitchen. They go in there and they completely renovate it digitally to show you what it could look like.
Yeah,
and it's a lot cheaper to do that. And I mean, agents just have to get creative.
Yeah,
So
well, and so we have. I know we have agents like from across the country, even like some international ones, like that listen to the show. Like, how would they find a photographer like you? What's the best? I mean, and like not just like how do you go looking for one, but like once you find, like, how do you sort of weed through?
You can definitely Google, but I probably wouldn't, rank on search engines. But my thing is always word of mouth. We do advertise. We advertise in a magazine. We do have an IG account, Facebook account. We heavily post on Instagram. But word of mouth is how people find me. Now, I pay for that though.
Yeah.
I pay for that word of mouth, because what I'm doing is I'm saying, Agent Q over here, hey, this is how we get new customers is you go, and it's kind of like an ongoing joke. Please tell all your friends and family that are your colleagues in this business that you love my work. If you don't love my work, please don't say anything.
Sure.
And I kind of laugh, ha, ha, ha. But, I tell them, hey, if you love my work, this is what you do. Tell your colleagues in your office, come to michaeljstolte.com, give me a call, whatever. When they buy from us, we're going to give you 20% off. Right? So, and then I go even further, with that, you can take that 20% and you can save it. And if you get 20% off, what is that? It's 100%. You get a free shoot.
Cool.
Yeah.
Valued at $150 plus tax. It's easy. I do that stuff all the time. Dee Oliver with JLA, I called her today, and I said, I need a house to photograph my team. And I was in this house. I said, I love this house. It's great. It's over in Memorial. I said, can I use it? She goes, need to contact the customer. So I'll tell you what, I'll give you a free shoot. I'll barter, to get something. I'll barter a little bit. It's just, I mean, it costs me a little bit of money, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'll take my time and I get what I want. Right. So, but we use a lot of model homes, things like that. There's a place up here in Conroe that we used off of League Line Road. Took some pictures there, and our first team shots were there, and then we started growing even more. And I'm like, man, I need to get new team and headshots. So, but we do professional headshots.
So you don't even do those yourself?
Who, me?
Yeah, you don't do your headshots?
No, I don't.
Because it's not your kind of photography.
I personally do architectural and real estate photography. If it's a business, I'll photograph it. If it's a house, I'll photograph it. If it's a person, that's Michelle Butler.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people don't realize that, like, there's different skill sets even within photography. Like architectural home photography, that's its own niche.
Yes.
And so, like,
you've got food photography, you got baby photography, you got wedding photography, you got, senior portraits, stuff like. I don't do that. Yeah. I'm like, excuse me, living room, can you turn to the left a little bit? Just bring your head down. You know what I mean? But one of the things that we do is we do this headshot and these lifestyle photos for real estate agents because even headshots are changing. You're not in front of, a little gray background and you're posing and you're leaning over and, now people are doing lifestyle, they're.
I mean, is Olin Mills even in business anymore?
I think so. I think I saw.
They were the bomb diggity of the family photo.
Oh, absolutely. They were. Yeah, and you got to print. everything's digital now.
Yeah.
So
It's very different.
it is.
Yeah. I actually think it's really cool that like you can take. I see a lot of people doing this now where they'll take a family photograph, upload it so they can get it printed as a painting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Have you seen this stuff?
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
yeah.
It does.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's like how much you pay for that? It was $12.
That's right. Yeah.
Did your photographer also sign off on you doing that?
But
That's
yeah,
always-
another thing.
Here's the thing, man. That's one of the things that in the real estate world, when a photographer takes a photo and a real estate agent buys the right to use that photo,
Uh-huh.
because it used to be, it wasn't ever explained properly, I think.
So is this like complicated IP law? Is that
Now this is his copyright.
copyright?
period.
Okay.
So when I take a photo, whether it's my cell phone, whether it's a listing photo, it's copyrighted to me,
Right.
the intellectual property.
Okay. Well, that's what I meant by IP.
Right,
Okay.
right. So the intellectual property is automatically copyrighted by me. I don't even have to submit that. It's just by law, federal law at that.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have a really big problem with real estate agents scraping photos and using it on other listings.
Oh.
That wasn't theirs. And I would have customers contact me and says, "Hey, some other agent, got our phone number," and I'd just send them an email. Very professional. Hey guys,
Take it down.
appreciate it. Please take it down.
Yeah.
Or hey, if you want. Another thing that I don't do because I love my clients, I don't resell. The images. I could make money off of that.
Yeah.
But I just value my customers more than the dollar.
This actually happens on social media all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
We have a welder friend, Randolph, Mr. Weld. He makes these really beautiful roses, flowers out of metal.
Yeah.
Right. He takes pictures of them. He sells them online, all this kind of stuff. Well, so like he was making all these pretty things. Well, these other welders who didn't want to take the time to make them, that felt like they could, started scraping his photos.
Yeah.
And putting them on their site and saying, hey, we sell these, and then like doing it at a reduced price from what he was doing it. So he's just started watermarking everything.
Yeah.
And like it sucks that you have to do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So because
Absolutely.
people don't have the integrity or the ethic to go, I'll just go take my own photo.
In the day and age of digital photography and everything,
Mm-hmm.
everything's online.
Yeah.
You can screenshot it. You can do whatever. I mean, people don't understand that there is a copyright law,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to have permission
Yeah.
to use it.
I mean, don't people remember Napster? Come on, people.
Well, no, and I've actually been guilty of this. I mean, I used to like take people's insect photos, which are really difficult photos to get, and put them on our stuff.
Yeah.
And like I learned my lesson when somebody reached out to me and was like, "Hey, like that's actually my photo." I forget where I got it, but it was like in the early days of like Facebook and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, "Oh, here's a cool photo on Google."
Right. on Google, you download it to your computer. Yeah. Here's the thing, though. There's a fingerprint,
mm-hmm.
and it's in the data.
Yeah.
And it's buried deep.
Like the metadata. Is that what
metadata?
Yeah.
And they can go in there, and it's got like every one of my photos that goes out. It has where I shot it, how I shot it, and it has my name.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's big issues with MLS boards, Houston, stating that if a photo gets uploaded to their website, then they're the copyright. And I'm like, no,
that's not the way that works.
No, it doesn't. They try,
right?
But that's and they also scrape the data.
That wouldn't hold up in a court of law.
It wouldn't.
Mm-mm.
But I look at it like this. It's like, what are you going to do?
Well, right.
Now Zillow got sued by a big virtual tour outfit up north, and the virtual tour company won.
Wow.
And set precedence over Zillow. I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because what they were doing is you had Zillow.com, but you had this home section to where it takes a photo and it puts a dollar value on the item in there, and they were making money off of that, and they didn't have the photographer's permission. So they got sued and they lost.
And I know this is probably but this is just interesting to me. So on homes that aren't listed,
Mm-hmm.
I know that like on certain platforms, and I think Zillow's one of them. I think Trulia does this too, where they will actually leave up photographs of your home, even though it's not listed.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I pulled up my house one day, and I was like, who gave you permission to put up pictures of my house?
Yeah.
You know, and like I have no recourse.
See, in the I mean, you do.
I'm sure I could fuss at them, but I mean, like
you could say I'm the homeowner. I want the pictures taken down.
Yeah.
You know, or you can find the agent or whatever and ask the photographer to go do that. And
do they have to do it? I mean, like
no, not really.
that's the thing.
They don't have to, but you know, it's up there.
It'd be the polite thing to do.
It would be the polite thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
like,
most people I know are polite. That's a lie. Just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. I was being facetious. So.
Especially the people at Zillow.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Take my pictures down.
Right.
Before I excoriate you online.
Right. I'm coming after you, Zillow.
I'm going to review you every week.
My name is Craig Williams. I'm coming.
Yeah. With all of the brute force of the Homeowner Show.
Right. But you know, at the end of the day, when you have these photos up there, and you do, like I have photos on my website, and if the homeowner found my website and said, "Oh, that's my kitchen," they can ask me to take it out. Now, they have really no recourse,
right?
You know, to do that. But it is the polite thing to do. You have a new homeowner. And if you have a 3D walkthrough or you know some type of virtual tour walkthrough of the entire home, maybe it's not their furniture, but it's the layout.
Yeah,
right. That's not okay.
Go ahead and take it down. You know, I mean, it doesn't need to live in cyberspace 24/7, 365.
Right.
Forever.
Yeah, I kind of feel like you're in a different position where like you were invited in.
Yes.
To take the photo, like that's what you were hired there to do.
That's correct.
I didn't ask Zillow to do anything.
Yeah.
You know, because I bought the home. After those photos had been taken. That's my house now.
Yep.
So,
and you can actually request those to be taken down. And, you know, once again, if they're nice, they can do that. You know, unless you want to get lawyers involved and things like that, and then it costs you money.
Yeah.
You know. So.
And I understand why they're up. I mean, they're trying to keep that data.
Sure.
Because they want to have the record of like this whole house sold for this much back then, and this is what it looked like, and I get it.
Right. Well, you can go back to exterior shots of the home.
Right.
You don't need the interior shots of the home.
Right.
Because, I mean, there's plenty of times when I'm out, you know, when it was hot and heavy with 360-degree, you know, panoramic photography. I would be in the middle of the street photographing a house, and we pointed at the house, and then we turned to the right, and we pointed down the street, turn it to the right again. Now we're looking at the neighbors' houses across the street because it's 360.
Right.
Right again. Back the other way down the street. Right again. Then we're, you know, back to our first image. I was out doing that, and I had a lady come out and yell at me. You know, I want to call the cops. Okay. Go ahead. Public street.
Good luck.
You're just.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day.
What do you think Google's doing?
Right.
And that's what I tell them. I'm like, expectation of privacy. Okay. In your backyard, you have an expectation of privacy.
Sure.
In your front yard, you do not.
Right.
It's completely visible for the public to see. So, but people are still weary when you have a person with a camera taking a photo of the front of their house.
Which you've been to my place. I mean, like, take all the pictures from the street you want.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You're not going to see a lot.
Knock yourself out.
That's right.
But in residential neighborhoods, Glenlock Farms, or you know wherever, everything's visible out there. You know, it was funny, that lady that come out shaking her finger at me. Literally 2 months later, I photographed her house, and I remembered her. Her memory was like zero of me.
You were probably like 50 finger wags.
And I was.
That's right.
Yeah. I was telling the agent, I'm like, yeah, she's the one that came out yelling at me saying she was going to call the cops. And she's like, really? Well, we won't mention that.
Let's not bring that up.
Exactly.
But I've seen a lot of stuff in this, and I mean, really, after 18 years, nothing so far has made me scratch my head. But you know, when I first got into this business, I'd walk into people's houses and they had dirty dishes in the sink and they had this, that, and the other. And here I am putting the dishes in the dishwasher or what, trying to help out. And I'll go the extra mile and I'll move something.
Yeah.
But I'm not moving furniture. I'm not restaging your house. That's not my job. My job is to, take a photo of it. That should be done before I get there.
Right.
Because I'm the end result that once you get those photos, it should be 100% ready. So.
Well, when you're not in a hot market like we are right now, does having that team, like the real estate agent, the stager, the photographer, I don't know who else would be involved at this point, but like those, I would imagine those three, that's got to be pretty crucial for the listing.
Absolutely. I mean, I want to use the Lucia Clark team. Miranda on that team, she's a real estate agent, but she also does that. Her side hustle is she goes in and she stages homes. So when I walk into one of their homes, I'm like, yep, this is a Miranda, staged home. And it's funny because I'm starting to see the same staging items. I'm like, hey, there's the fruit that someone took a bite out of, and it's styrofoam. So, but yeah, they're they're immaculate. They look great. Sometimes you just walk into a house and you're like, Kimberly did one a few weeks ago, and no lights.
Oh no, goodness.
It was a rundown house.
Mm-hmm.
It was a shack.
Wow.
You're walking around, you're feeling the house move because it's on pier and beam and it's not really steady. She took pictures. She's like, oh my goodness, this is what you made me go shoot. I'm like, hey, they picked you. Sorry.
Right.
But
she like walk around with like a light ring or something, or
right. Well, the way that we photograph, it's not, just taking a single picture and we're done. We're taking multiple shots at different exposure values.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then our last shot is our flash. So we have a Godox 8200 flash. I think Michelle has a regular flash, but it's all off camera. It's not on the camera. We don't flash like your typical flash. Like if I brought up my cell phone, that flash is right there, and it's pointing at you to illuminate you. We're pointing it at the ceiling to bounce light. And then being a pro is when you get into a media room that's painted black. On top of high schools, their ceiling, their roofs are all black. Composition roofs are darker color. Why? Because it absorbs heat, right? Same thing with black paint. It absorbs the light. It doesn't bounce. In this room, I could pop a flash and illuminate this whole space, quarter of a power, right? But it also depends on your settings and things of that nature. Real estate agents don't know that, So when I photograph a final image, it's 3, 4, 5, 6 different clicks of the camera. And that creates your final image that the editor, will take and blend and make look pretty.
You're making us feel self-conscious about our lighting here. We need to get it adjusted, Kev.
I know. It is what it is.
Y'all's lighting is great.
All right. Okay. Good.
Well, listen, this has been really good. You've given us a whole lot of information, but I don't think I adequately prepared you for the one piece of information that all of our listeners are looking for.
That's right.
So before you get away,
okay,
you have to be prepared. You're not going to be prepared for the Final Four.
The Final Four.
So this is the Final Four questions that we ask each and every one of our guests. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see, right?
We're going to start off. So
next.
Here we go. What is the must-have tool that you won't leave your house without?
My camera.
Well, for you, it has to be the camera.
It has to be the camera for me.
Yeah,
that's right. And okay, so this is really interesting. So I've got a buddy who's a photographer, not real estate, but a photographer in general, and he gets a question. You probably get this question a lot too. It's like, what's the best camera for me to buy? Those sorts of things.
Right.
And I love his answer. His answer is whichever camera is in your hand.
Right.
That's the best camera.
Yeah.
Whichever one you have in your hand, because that's the one you're going to get the shot with, right?
Well, and that's the thing that when I leave my house, I always have a camera with me, and it's not not your typical DSLR. Always have a camera.
Sure.
They got a cell phone.
Right.
And they take phenomenal
It's unbelievable.
pictures.
They do, yeah.
And you can buy editing software. I have Photoshop on my phone.
Mhm.
I have Lightroom on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I can be able to go in there and edit that photo. Everything is enhanced. Everything. People have to understand that. But my thing is I always have a camera when I leave my house.
Okay, cool. All right, second question. And we asked this question a variety of different ways, but really it's what's a job you walked away from, maybe what's a project in your house you walked away from, but really what I'm most interested, I'm going to switch it up just a minute, Greg.
Okay.
I want to know, has there ever been a real estate photography job that you said, I'm not going to do that house?
There's a house over in Channelview that I walked into, and it was, I thought I'd find a dead body.
Oh, gosh.
The only time I walk away from a job if it's just pouring down rain, I can't do it.
Okay.
There's always a way to get around something,
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're just, I'm really open and honest with my customers. And I was at a job in Spring off of Cypresswood, and poor lady, she had 15 dogs.
Oh, goodness.
The home wasn't ready at all, and there was boxes everywhere. There's a kennel in her breakfast room, dogs in and out. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't think I've ever walked off a job,
Okay.
But I do have compassion for those, and I was kind of blunt with her. I said, and this is once again pre-pandemic. Right now you can put lipstick on a pig and sell it, but at the end of the day, I sit there and I said, okay, this is what we need to do, and the lady cried. I said, this is what you need to do because you want to put your best foot forward.
Right.
And if I take the pictures right now, here's the thing. In real estate, it's not about just leaving, passing. I see ugly photos and I move. You're losing thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And you're leaving it on the table.
Right.
Because what happens is you're longer on the market, then you're having to reduce a couple of grand, $5,000, $10,000, depending on your price point. And if you have terrible photos, you're doing the seller a disjustice right there. You're taking money out of their pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And sellers, you're letting them do that.
Right.
If you have a real estate agent that's not willing to spend the money on professional photography, and good photography for your house, and also you have to put in the work and make your home show ready, then get another agent.
Mm-hmm.
Your agent's not your buddy. Your agent is a contract between you and a professional. And if that professional doesn't tell you the hard stuff that you need to do, when you list your house, when you list your home, it stops becoming your home and it becomes a house.
That's true.
And
You
have to separate that.
Yeah.
And I know, and it's a very emotional purchase because your babies were born there, they grew up there, whatever, and you have all these memories. But at the end of the day, it's still an investment, and you have to separate that.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. All right. By the way, your buddy Josh Kasinger just chimed in. I need to tell you that he just chimed in and said,
Really?
By the way, did you know you're talking to someone famous? Because
Me?
you climb up on his roof every single year. Is what he says. So
let's see if I can pop one of these.
He also outed you as Santa Claus.
yeah, exactly.
He did out me as Santa Claus. I
Straight up.
had a lady the other day. She asked me. She goes, "Hey, do you play Santa?" I looked at her and I go, "Are you calling me fat?" She's like, no. It's the white beard. And I'm like, so I'll tell you another quick story. Snapchat has this old man filter.
Oh yeah, I've
It
seen it.
doesn't work on me.
Does it make you look younger? I don't know. How
No,
does
it
that
makes
work?
me look fuzzy. That's what people said.
Fuzzy.
You know, they're like, hey, it's kind of fuzzy there.
I need to try this thing out. I've never been fuzzy.
So
That's
this
a good point.
This is one of the cool shots that I did last year. This is me eating a cookie. I have another gal taking a selfie and another guy next to me drinking cocoa. I'm gonna put that up there. See if
There it is.
See if they see that.
Yep.
So that's me. And then I like to have fun. So we changed it up. I'm taking the selfie. She's eating the cookie.
Oh, that's funny.
It's not my cookie though. She's eating her own cookie. And but yeah, that's my little side hustle. I play Santa Claus every year. You and I, Kevin, we know another guy that he's way younger than I am, but wow, he does a great Santa.
He does a great job. He does a great Santa.
Yeah.
You're right about that. All right, question number 3. Here we go. How do you wind down at the end of a long day?
You do not want to know.
Yeah, I really do.
Well, it's you just think
It's not every day, just after a long day.
Yeah, that's right.
every day's a long day.
Right now, yeah.
This is what I've had for food content all day today. So a quarter bag of pistachio nuts.
Yeah,
I
love pistachios.
I do too. I really do. Then I had a little snack bag of nuts. Again, different kind. Those are really good too. One popsicle and a bag of popcorn. And a small bag like that, simply, And I tried to. My wife asked me to cook some zucchini noodles. We were going to have zucchini spaghetti.
Yeah.
And I burnt them because.
Oh no.
Because I had them in there. I was doing the directions. I felt really, really bad. But I was in my office working, and I get up. I go to work early. Not as early as my wife. My wife gets up at 4.
Oh goodness.
I can do that. But then last night, I think I went to bed at 11. Midnight, somewhere around there, so I'm up late. But how I wind down is I don't, because I have a very busy family life. I have a daughter that barrel races. I have a daughter,
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, we should talk.
She's good.
Okay.
She's good.
All right, we're gonna talk afterwards.
Okay, and I have another daughter that plays soccer. I have a son that plays football. That's Emma. And what are you laughing at?
Laughing at Josh, man. He said,
Josh, come on, bro.
He's trolling you in the comments, man.
Josh says that you wind down with cookies and milk.
Stop putting out all my secrets, bro. Cookies and milk.
That's good stuff, man.
Oh no, have you seen Josh lately?
Oh, hey, man.
Josh, we need to talk.
You need to get on the pushback.
You're growing into my role.
Oh,
No, but
he's got to call you out, man. He's got to call you out.
But another one that does football. I've got my oldest son, or my other oldest son, Noah. He's busy. He's graduating high school this year. I got one that's 20 that lives out on his own, goes to college, does all that. So the only day that I have to really rest is I work 6 days a week and I take Sundays off. And still Sundays are busy for me because I'm either on the praise team or, going to church, or I'm doing whatever else that I need to do.
Right.
And I'm so busy out there photographing houses. A buddy of mine from Arizona, we're good friends as far as business partners and stuff like that. And I love his website that's coming out. It looks great. And I'm like, dude, I would love to have a website like that. It looks so professional. It looks so great. He goes, oh, your website's good. I said, no, but you got all this great, stuff. How do you do it?
Mm-hmm.
How do you have time?
Yeah.
He goes, I'm up early and I stay up late. And I'm like, it's killing me. I'm 47. Have you seen this face? I look like I'm, 65. So, but yeah, we're just out there just doing that. So winding down is probably when I'm sleeping. is when I'm winding.
There you go.
To be quite honest with you.
Hey, no, rest is good.
Taking the pistachio nap.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
All right, last question. What's one of the best pieces of wisdom or advice you've ever received?
Oh, man, that's a hard one. Because, I mean, you get that all the time. Be humble is really... Be humble and always be kind is the biggest piece of advice. Because if you're always that person that's too busy, I always say stop and smell the roses.
Mm-hmm.
Even in my busy life, sometimes I forget. Put your cell phone down. My wife gets on to me about that all the time because I'm always on my cell phone. One of the things that I don't know if you know him. His name's Jannard. He owns a inspection company.
Okay, no, I don't think I do.
Does it all. Home Inspection is the name of it, and great guy. He goes to Bammel. We used to actually go to Spring Creek Church of Christ together, and he posts on his page a daily Bible reading,
Mm-hmm.
And that, without him telling me that, I bought one. And I've been reading it, and the first one I went over to when I bought it, it was Success. And I was like, wow, be kind, be humble. If you believe in God, read his word, read his scripture. That's one of the things that I'm trying to do on a daily basis. And it's snapshots.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to read a book, or a chapter. Find something that's going to give you snapshots, something inspirational, for your day.
Yeah. It's portable. You can pick it up and take it with you the rest of the day. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's small, too. I mean, my book is like really small. I think his is big.
Yeah.
I got a small one. I'm like, man, I got gypped. Jesus. But
he'll only give you what you can carry.
Yeah, exactly.
Willie,
that's a small one.
We're off topic, I promise. All right, man. Hey, that's great. Those 4 questions, man, you did a great job answering those. But one thing that I failed to tell you is there's actually one secret 5th question.
Oh man!
And this secret 5th question is
it's a
It's
doozy.
a doozy. It's the only one that I allow Chris.
How
Why
long
did I
have we
say
been doing
Chris?
this?
Craig.
Wow.
Where do people Chris even come from?
It's 2 demerits. Come on.
2? That's all I get?
Oh, it's just my name.
Oh, that's true. All right. Craig's the only one that gets to ask this question, get you to answer.
You ready for me to do it now? Or are you going to keep?
Know.
Okay.
Yes. Go for it.
If people want to find you, how do they get a hold of you?
Oh, simple. They can call, text, or email. Whatever you want to do.
Give it out.
832-247-0634. That is my cell phone number. That is something that will never change. I am always accessible with that phone number.
Cool. What's the website?
Website's my name, Michael J. Stolte, Michael, the letter J, and then my last name, Stolte.com. You can go there. You can book, order, pay, do whatever you want to. See all of our services on our website. If you don't know what you need, call me. I'll be more happy to talk to you. If I don't answer, leave me a message. I do return my phone calls very fast.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we'll link all that up in the show notes. So Awesome. If you guys want to get a hold of them, you can just click on that link in the show notes, or you can go to the website and click on those links there. Super easy to find for you guys there. Man, if you have not yet, if you've hung with us this long, just hit the subscribe button.
Do it.
Just punch it.
Do it now.
Stamp it, all that kind of good stuff.
Right.
Click the like button, the love button. Send us the love mail. Not to Kevin though. He gets awkward with me.
I do.
So, but we'll deal with it. But we appreciate you guys listening to the show. Kevin, we got anything else?
No, man. I think it's it. Thank you for downloading the show today. We're here each and every Tuesday,